the most popular HBR articles. The article I've taken is in the section of motivating people, and the title is Why You Should Stop Setting Easy Goals. It is by Amitava Antonois, and Dipankar Chakravarti. Now, this article, when I read it talks about that when setting team goals, many managers feel that they must maintain a tricky balance between setting targets high enough to achieve impressive results and setting them low enough to keep the troops happy. So here the authors argue about that what makes a goal seem harder to achieve, and they did carry out some research and studies where they recruited a couple of hundred participants on Mechanical Turk and split them into 5 groups, and they showed them some goals which needs to be done. For example, achieving the same GPA as the previous semester. So they showed other 4 groups improvement goals that reflected either small, moderate, large, or very large gains over the current baseline. Now, when they carried out this exercise, they have some reflections to make. They could figure out that that if the goal which they're setting to them has a higher baseline, or maybe from the baseline the goal is much higher, then by the simple brain logic, you figure out that the gap is too high, and accordingly you start accepting that this goal is more harder to achieve. So that's the first problem they carried out. They also said that the bigger the gap, the more difficult the goal, as logic would suggest. Only later do we begin to consider the context in which we'll need to achieve that goal. But in the absence of any gap to evaluate, as with the status quo goal, our minds immediately start thinking about the context. So they make an argument here. Second, they also drive a point that harder goal means more satisfaction. So the study which they carried out, they say that when we ask participants which of the 2 goals they would choose to pursue, they again chose modest improvement targets over status quo targets. This finding held across all kinds of sphere. Now, it's quite true that if someone asks me that, oh, you have achieved so much of $1 million this year, how much you want to do next year? Really rarely people will say that I'll do less than this or maybe same as this. They would definitely, put some moderate goals over it, and that's a good sign. So, the article definitely talks about these 2 things. I was expecting more from this article when I clicked the article as the most popular one. But it has not given too many details about why this happens and what are the psychological, theories behind this, and what are the important solutions. That if the goals are very high, how do you really break down into small parts? So I was expecting a little more from this article. So I would rate around 2.5 star for this article. Thank you.